Carving racing lines then goes against the grain, sliding sideways with new flair, new passion and new heart to open the new season of the Australian Drifting Grand Prix. This is Speed Week. Hello and welcome to the final episode of Speed Week for 2013. We've enjoyed an impressive year of highs and lows in Australian motorsport all over the country. We've witnessed world-class battles for glory where pure grit and determination have materialised long-awaited dreams. We've also witnessed sportsmanship to be proud of and a greater community connection through our love of motorsport. Let us know your highlights on Facebook and Twitter as we head to the opening round of the Australian Drifting Grand Prix. Here's the action from Mallala.
After switching to a summer season, the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix returns, with the 2013-14 season kicking off at Mallala Motorsport Park in South Australia.
Technical. We did add a little extra kink in the corner to make it more of a tight section for a closer tandem. We didn't want to just be high speed all the way in and out.
They're not going to learn if they keep doing the same things over and over, and if you give them a challenge, they'll definitely improve as a driver.
It makes the drivers have to, push a lot harder to stay close and be consistent.
It works really, really well for the series.
Drifting is motorsport meets extreme sport. Instead of being the first across the finish line, drivers are judged like in freestyle motocross or skateboarding. The judges outline the course and what they want to see, and during solo qualifying runs, drivers are assessed on that plus their line, speed and angle. The driver's qualifying score then determines who they go up against in the top 32 tandem battle eliminations. Drivers go head-to-head and they are then judged on their proximity and emulation. Basically, the aim is to drive as close to the car in front and copy or better their driving. Each driver gets a lead and follow run and 3 judges choose a winner or a rerun. It makes for fierce racing, an action that can't be beat by any other motorsport. The Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix is the country's national series and where the best drifters come to prove who's number one. For more info on judging, rules and the series, head to the website australiandriftinggp.com.
Before we check out the course layout, let's catch up with the 3 highest ranked drivers from 2012.
Yeah, being the reigning champion, it's definitely more stressful. You've got everything to lose, nothing to gain, and everyone else there wants to knock me off the pedestal, so it's a very stressful thing. Definitely not confident that we're just going to go out and do what we did last year again, because it's going to be a really, really hard task. Yeah, we recently competed in Kuala Lumpur as Formula Drift round. We use our other 350Z, our main 350Z that's over there with the 380 RS race engine. So this weekend we're using our spare 350Z. We've done a little bit of work to it to try and get it up to scratch. It may not be enough for this weekend's competition. A lot of people are stepping up the game, but you know, we've done as much as we can to get it as competitive as we can, and we're just looking forward to getting it out on the track and seeing how it goes.
Yeah, last year at Barbagallo, the last lap we did for the entire season, taking one of the media guys for a lap. We unfortunately had a failure externally to the engine, which caused some damage to the actual engine. So in the off-season, we've completely rebuilt the car, changed the engine to a Toyota 2JZ and completely overhauled the car. So yeah, the gearbox we've fitted this year is, as I said, a 4-speed NASCAR gearbox. It's the current model NASCAR gearbox. So basically for drifting, it's as strong as you'll get. And obviously it can shift faster than I can physically put it into gear, so it's perfect. Yeah, we've tested the car a few times this year before today, once locally, once on the mainland, and the car's just so much faster this year. It's making just under 700 horsepower at the wheels. We've switched to Achilles tyres, which has just completely transformed the car. It's ridiculously fast, and it's certainly a handful, but I reckon I've got it covered. Yeah, unfortunately last week my old man passed away, helping me get the car ready for this weekend, so we weren't going to miss it for the world. He would have wanted us to be here as much as anyone, so really motivated to do well this weekend and for the rest of the season and just in life generally, so yeah, really motivated to have a good weekend.
S15 1J, Northside Nissan, major sponsor, Kimberley Pipelines. I bought this mental transporter to get us here. Achilles are on board still with tyres. Extreme Clutch, still doing killer clutches. They've supported me for years. I haven't driven since November last year in Japan. Bit rusty, bit junk, but I'll be going flat out as fast as I can. I don't want to crash it because I've paid for this car out of my own money and my missus will trip out. So look, go hard but don't crash it and try not to blow the gearbox.
Now let's take a closer look at the course layout. From the Just Car Insurance start line, the judges want to see a full throttle run-up all the way to the initiation point. The Achilles radial entry has an outer clipping zone, with the tyres needing to touch the white line. The Hi-Tech Oil's second outer clipping zone also requires the wheels onto the white line, before a quick transition out to the last outer clipping zone. Drivers then tighten the line on the last corner for an inner clip, before crossing the I Love Drift finish line.
I got into drifting when it first started in WA and in the eastern states as well. We've been around it. My first national competition was back in 2004 at Oran Park Raceway. 2005 we came to Adelaide and it's been travelling ever since. At Mallala here we changed the first corner. We've made it a lot wider and deeper, so it's a lot tighter and narrower, which makes it a bit more technical, a bit trickier than usual. My criteria for the judging this round was the speed. Speed is quite an important thing. You know, you've got to maintain your speed of what you come in at and keep it flowing nicely.
I drive in the United States of America. We have Formula Drift as our premier drifting league, and I've been running in that since its inception in 2004. I drive a 2013 Nissan 370Z with 800 horsepower VK56. I've won 3 championships in Formula Drift, 1 overall in 2009 and 2 Triple Crown championships in 2007 and 2009. This is my first time in Australia. However, I haven't seen too much of it aside from the airport and the racetrack, but you know, it is a good time. It's a great atmosphere. The drivers and the crowd is going awesome. I believe I've been Australianized. The first day I got here, I got to go drift in a ute, and it feels like a good time. Everyone's been pretty cool. This is ridiculous. Flies have been all over my face all weekend. I got a little buddy right here who's gonna come with me to the tower. For qualifying, I was the line judge. However, that's kind of gone with the wind moving into the tandem rounds. Just kind of looking at the runs as a whole, all 3 of us. And the one thing I am focusing on is, you know, the drivers staying close and carrying their momentum through turn 1. A lot of guys are throwing it in real hard and losing their momentum, kind of stalling, and it's causing the chase driver to have a mistake. But you know, we're going to weigh that into the lead driver, not just the chase guy for messing up. So this run can be won in the lead lane as long as you keep the speed up.
I've been drifting for 10 years, got second place 3 years in a row overall in New Zealand, and then won it 3 years in a row. I've also been to World Time Attack twice, qualified third and first there, and had not so great at battles, and also been to the World Champs in 08 in LA. So that was a big learning curve for me. I was quite young back then, so judging's fairly similar. We're trying to bring our style of judging to Aussie, and Chris brought his style also. So, well, in qualifying I was judging angle, and that's 30 points out of your total points score. So just transitions, quick transitions, as much angle as you can while staying on your line. That was pretty much what I was judging. But battles, obviously you're judging an overall, you're just picking the winner you think won that battle. So yeah, different in battles and qualifying.
The top 10 in qualifying looked like this. Rob White continued his 2012 form, taking out #1 spot. Michael Prosnick took second, Josh Botcher in third. Those three would receive a free entry to the top 16 with bye runs in the top 32. Dale Campaign was the highest qualified local in fourth. Ben Purtell took fifth. Fellow Tasmanian Matt Harvey took sixth. James Abbott in 7th, Nick Coulson in 8th, Kelly Wong, our only female competitor, took 9th, and Michael Rosenblatt rounded out the top 10.
Yeah, we qualified in first position, which was really good. You know, we're having some troubles in practice, and then went out there and, you know, spoke to the judges about what I was doing wrong, and they gave me a few suggestions. We just went out there and implemented it, and you know, seemed to pull off the top spot. I wasn't sure how I went when I went out there, and I felt good, but I didn't think it was a really good run when I came in. Everyone was saying, mate, it was really good. So, and then, yeah, sure enough, we got the top spot and no one could match it. So, yeah, we're pretty stoked to get that. You know, we get a bye run because there's only 29 cars here instead of the top 32.
Okay, time for our very first battle of the season. Danny Verheumes, the godfather of drift, and Levi Clark, both in brand new S15s for this year. These guys were set to have a very close run after qualifying 16th and 17th. And as you can see, not much separating these two, but the godfather of drift, Danny Verheumes, was just able to take the win and move through the top 16.
Okay, here we go.
Another new car was that of Michael Bonney, the mental S15 with the 2J, but he had a massive lose on this run and handed the win straight to Nick Coulson. Kelly Wong had no problem defeating Harry Hopes, who was struggling in his new S14 built for this season.
An all-time crash, VEU.
Next pairing, Andreas Paraskevas and Hayden Buckham. Hayden was the higher qualifier, but Agus was driving like a madman, pushing up right on the inside, up on the door of Hayden Buckham, and he took the win and moved through to the top 16.
Dale Campaign was done before qualified, so he leads.
Chris Salito and Dale Campaign, G8 Hawley's teammates, went head-to-head. Dale Campaign qualified in 4th and had no problem taking the win.
186 and the Shockworks, A86.
Matt Russell, Ben Purtell. Matt Russell had problems with that SR20, had to fix the car overnight and struggled in the top 32 battles to keep up, and Ben Purtell walked away with the win.
In front of the trade stands. Let's get our next battle underway.
South Australians went head-to-head in this battle. Justin Coda and Simon Michaelmore. Unlike some other cars, Michaelmore seemed to be getting his S14 up to speed very quickly for a new build, and he took the win. Our first big upset of the weekend, Matt Harvey, number 6 qualifier, had to go up against Anthony Cisse, who qualified poorly after blowing his engine on the Saturday. He did an all-nighter at Jaws Tech, got a new engine in, and he took the win. Another big upset was Mitch Bunny and Elliot Wiley. Mitch Bunny came in way too hot, made contact, and simply knocked himself out. Elliot Wiley took the win to make his first top 16 appearance. Jack Widdis and Lane Brandis, R31 versus R32. Jack Widdis, finding top form in this R31, was able to take the win from the Western Australian, who was struggling at round 1 here at Mallala Motorsport Park. John Papadopoulos and Scott Shembry then went head-to-head as our final pairing in the top 32. It was looking like a good battle to begin with, but Papa had car dramas and handed the win straight to Scott Shembry to go through to the top 16.
As well as running the National Drifting Championship with 32 drivers, ADGP also holds state competitions at each event, so that drivers can earn their way into the national competition the following season. Round 1, Jackson Callow took third place after Dave Dermody broke a gearbox. Jared Klingberg and Lee Pidwell battled hard in the finals.
This was a great battle. Let's check it out. Pidwell leads on the first run, throws it in big, nearly 90 degrees on that entry. He's able to hold it. And Jared Klingberg couldn't emulate that angle. He's pushing hard now on this last corner, trying to get better proximity. But Lee Pidwell would earn himself an advantage after that first run thanks to that crazy entry. Jared Klingberg will need to do something pretty wild on this one if he wants to take back that advantage and try and get the win. Throws it in, Pidwell's right there, cuts a little bit of a shallower line to try and push up on the inside. Looks like the Corolla has a bit more speed. Pushes up on that inside again and bang! Contact! Pidwell makes contact and throws it around. That spin will give Pidwell a 0, which means Jared Klingberg will take the win for ADGP Round 1 state competition and Pidwell in second.
Awesome effort yesterday, put in by all my crew and everything, and pretty stoked to come out number 1.
Stick around as after the break we head into the top 16 of Round 1 of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix. Welcome back to Round 1 of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix. A new season brings a range of new machines, so before we head into the top 16 battles, let's check out some of the new cars in the field.
This is actually our first full series of ADGP. We went down to Calder Park this year and blew up our old Toyota Sora. We've now built this S15 that we're going to run for the rest of this series. We're running the LS3 standard gearbox with the R32 GTR rear end in it, just the bigger drive shafts and axles. We're making 440 horsepower.
This year we're running a totally new car. We're running a S15 with the 2JZ. The engine's been built by C&D Motorworks, so all the custom fabrication from front to rear has been done by Track Art. Brian Crowler supplied all the strokers kit and all the internals. We changed it because the old car was getting a bit tired, not enough power, so we thought we'd start fresh and from the ground up and do something special. The power that this car's making for this weekend is about 450 kilowatt. We thought we'd keep like that. This is my first time driving the car, but when we come up to Barber Gala, should be pushing a bit more.
Yeah, I'm driving the S14 this time. It's been a fair while getting it built, just got it ready. Haven't had much test time in it, but it's got a fair few goodies in it. It's all ready to go, so I'm out in about 10 minutes time and we'll see how she goes.
This is a totally different car compared from last year and last season. New cage, new shell, paintwork and bodywork all done by Beverly Collision. So it's got new rewire, ECU, the drivetrain and suspension's all pretty much the same from the last car as well. We've also put a cooling system and fuel system all in the boot and tried to make a few little changes here just to make it a bit more competitive and reliable as well. This is really the first time I've actually driven the car, so today's a shakedown. So far it seems to be working pretty well, so it needs a few little tweaks here and there, but I think with a bit more track time should be a good thing.
Okay, here is your Hi-Tech Oils Top 16 battle tree for Round 1. Our first pairing, Rob White, reigning 2012 champion, up against the godfather of drift, Danny Denzo Verhumis. He's in a brand new car for this year. Rob White's in his backup car that's been modified to be more competitive. Let's see how it goes this time. He is the #1 qualifier. Throws it in, another textbook run so far, perfect on that outer clipping zone. Denzo on the switch, can't hold on to it and spins it around. He throws it away and hands a massive advantage to Rob White. That's not what the Godfather would have wanted in his first time in this car. It's a 10-0 advantage to Rob White. He doesn't need to do much, he just needs to keep it clean. But he's still going to push hard and give the crowd a battle they can watch. Rob White cuts through that corner a little bit, following Denzo through. Good proximity on the last corner now. They come past the I Love Drift finish line. And if we go to the Achilles radial replay, You had to see where Denzo simply threw it all away.
You know, with him having obviously a big error on the first one, it made it pretty straightforward. I thought we were going to get through, so we did, and straight to top 8. Cool, can't wait.
Our next pairing, Nick Coulson and Kelly Wong. She's our only female competitor in the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix and getting better every single time she comes out. She's certainly one that you have to keep your eye on. If you slip up, she'll get you. Nick Coulson leading, throws it in that X-Force Achilles radial VAU. So much speed in that car. Kelly Wong is doing everything she can to try and keep up. A little bit of a straight and a correction there from Kelly as she comes to that last corner, and Nick Coulson simply able to walk away, which will give him the advantage going into the second run. Kelly Wong's going to have to push as hard as she can. She's got nothing to lose, and that's what she's doing. Throws it in big, but Nick Coulson is able to answer the call. He's right there, showing us exactly how to battle. Good proximity coming into this last corner. Kelly Wong, a perfect lead run, but Nick Coulson is just able to follow better. As you can see on the replay, Nick Coulson just walking away from Kelly Wong, and that will give him the win.
I think when I was following, I had that little bit more proximity, and I was on her a little bit more.
Next pairing, Dale Campaign and Agus Andreas Paraskevas. Dale Campaign made the podium at this track last year, but Agus is on a mission this time around. He's been pushing very hard, very aggressive on the chase. Will he do the same this time? Campaign is the higher qualifier. Pedal to the metal, throws it in. Agus pushes in. There could be a little bit of contact there. Agus goes a little bit wild. Campaign continues the drift, but what's this? He straightens up and stops the drift. Is it a car issue or something else? Agus continues the drift through the course. Campaign got hit, was able to continue that drift and then lost it on the next corner, which means the advantage goes to Agus on the second run. Agus throws it in, Campaign doing everything he can to keep up, but with a 10-0 advantage to Agus after that massive straight and loss of drift by Campaign, he needs to hope for a miracle. It's not happening so far. Agus sails through. Have a look on the replay here. You can see Agus dives in, a little bit of contact, but Campaign continues his drift and then loses it on the next corner on that transition. And that gives the win straight over to Agus.
Wow, what a battle that was. Up against Dale there. We put it door to door. We touched panels, and that's about it really. Just going hard, and can't wait for the top 8. Bring it on.
Ben Purtell now up against Simon Michaelmore. These guys have battled many times before and have two drivers that are very capable indeed here in the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix. S14 180SX, RB25 under the hood of Michaelmore's car with a 2J for Ben Purtell, giving the car lots of power and lots of speed. You can see Purtell, they're able to get a bit of a gap, but Michaelmore dives in, a lot less angle there and a bit of a correction coming into the last corner, and not able to get that proximity going past the I Love Drift finish line. That gives the advantage to Ben Purtell in the GT Garage Achilles 180SX. Michaelmore leads now, throws it in big. Purtell is able to answer the call. Michaelmore goes shallow there, doesn't go out to that outer clip far enough, although Purtell did. Now continuing that last corner. Let's go to the Achilles radial replay now. You can see here Michaelmore leads, he throws it in, he's on that first outer clip, but takes a shallow line to the high-tech oil centre section, while Purtell goes where he needs to and gets the win.
He's such an awesome driver. I have full faith in what he does, and the car's just running awesome. So much power and so much grip. Yeah, this is awesome.
Two South Australians going head-to-head now, Anthony Cece and Elliot Wiley. These guys had to go a rerun, and if you check out what happened on the replay, Cece on his chase threw it in big, spun it around and got a 0. But then when Wiley chased, he got 3 wheels off the track, scoring him a 0. So the guys would have to go a rerun to settle this battle. Here it is. Elliot Wiley will lead as the higher qualifier. Cece having big dramas with a blown engine, getting replaced overnight. Wiley throws it in big, lots of speed on that car. CC not able to keep up in the first section of the track. Now on that transition to the last corner, still not able to gain the ground. That Laurel has massive speed. That will give Wiley an advantage going into the second run. He just needs to hold it together this time. Last time, he had a big advantage and went off track. This time he has a smaller advantage, but it's still enough. Throws it in, takes a shallow line to the first part of the course and does it again. Goes off the edge of the track, very messy. It means he gets good proximity on the last corner by cutting in, but I think the judges are going to see that very messy part of the track on this Achilles radial replay. You can see there going right over that corner. Very bad line.
Oh, stoked. It was a bloody close call. Elliott's a great driver and it was good to battle with him.
Josh Botcher and Jack Wittes now. Botcher, a regular competitor overseas in Formula Drift Asia. This is actually his backup car, so similar situation to Rob White, giving his backup car a few upgrades while the other car is still overseas. He leads on the first run, pedal to the metal the whole way, throws it in big. Jack Wittes, though, is right there in that R31, doing everything he can to keep up. Now in the transition to the last corner, a great lead run from Josh Botcher and a good chase by Jack Wittes. The judges not really calling an advantage either way on that run. Let's see what happens now as they switch it around. Wittes gave a pretty good chase run. Josh Botcher is going to have to do it even better if he wants the win. So far, he's able to do so. Better proximity than Wittes for the first section. Now he pushes up on his door in that last corner. Great proximity from Botcher. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how a battle is won. No big advantage on the first one, but Josh Botcher just simply did a better chase, and that will hand him the win to go through to the top 8.
Thanks, mate. Feel great. Yeah, Jack's he does a really good job. He's a young fella who's learning a lot, and he's a good driver, and it really put it on me on my lead run, and I just put it as close as I could. My mirror was bent in when I came back in, so I obviously got pretty close. But yeah, it was good. It was a good run, good driver. It was great to get the win.
New South Wales versus Queensland here, State of Origin. James Abbott, 3 fingers neat, Newlon S15 up against Michael Rosenblatt in the Commodore Wreckers R32. Obviously, he has an LS V8 under the hood. 2JZ power for Jabbett. Jabbett leads on the first run. He got a bye in the top 32 after his opponent pulled out, but a great lead from Jabbett so far. Throws it in, good entry. Rosenblatt on a good chase. But a bit of a correction there from Jabbett. A big understeer coming to that last corner. It was a great run from both drivers up until that point, but that big understeer means that Michael Rosenblatt will have the advantage coming into the second run. Rosenblatt throws it in full speed the whole way down. Jabbett's on a good chase so far, but he's going to need to do a lot better than that if he wants to turn that advantage around. Gets closer on the switch, but another big understeer moment for Jabbett coming into that last corner. Not sure if it's a car issue, but that will hand the win over to Rosenblatt. You can check that out here. A big correction. Almost completely lost drift there, Jabbett, but a big straighten. Does it again on his chase, and a convincing win for Rosenblatt.
I'm feeling pumped. I love Jabbett, he's a great guy. Shame to knock him out, but the V8 32 Commodore Skyline's just running really hot today, so can't be happier.
Our last battle in the top 16 now. Scott Shembry, the ladies' man in the 3 fingers neat Newlon 180SX, going up against one of his own friends, Michael Prosnick in the Supreme Caravans S13. Prosnick leads, V8 powered S13, pedal to the metal the whole way, throws it in. A little bit of a bobble on that entry. But Shembry there, a big straighten coming through the high-tech oil centre section. And another correction there as he tries to get up on the door of Prosnick, so a very messy chase from Scott Shembry in the 3 fingers neat Blaze unit 180SX. That'll give Michael Prosnick the advantage in the S13. Shembry's going to need to give it everything he's got if he wants to try and turn this one around. Great entry from Shembry, throws it in, big little correction though as he comes into the first corner. Very fast on the switch, but he spins it around. Shembry throws it away. And that will be an easy and convincing win for Michael Prosnick. We'll check out the replay here. A straighten through the high-tech oil centre section from Shembry gave the advantage to Prosnick. But this spin, that was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. That was good. It's a shame. One of my good mates, so that's how it is, yeah? Now we'll go out and give it our best.
Just Car Insurance was involved right from the get-go with the Australian Drifting Grand Prix. We believe it is a growing sport in Australia, and there is a massive amount of people that are actually flocking towards this sport, and it's actually something that's quite interesting to watch. We support it because we know that our customers are into this kind of stuff, and what better to actually be at the heart of it and support it nationally. We are also involved on a smaller scale with the figure 8 drifting, and with Big Drift. Personally, I've attended every single Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix. Who do I think's going to win the 13-14 series? Well, I know Rob White would like to go back-to-back. Nick Coulson's a very big contender as well, but I'd like to see my insane drifter boys up there on the podium with some trophies as well. I like Agus. He's a bit out there, and if you actually know Agus yourself, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. He's definitely an entertainer. At Just Car Insurance, we insure drivers of high-performance, modified and imported cars. Yeah, we insure drifters, not on the track of course, but if you're into this type of driving, this type of car, you talk to us about insurance and we can help you out.
Well, here is your High-Tech Oils Top 8 battle tree. Things are getting even more serious now. Rob White and Nick Coulson are going to face off again. These guys seem to do battle at almost every single event, both from Queensland, both very serious competitors and very capable. Rob White has more wins against Nick than vice versa. Can Nick turn it around on this run? Rob White leads as the higher qualifier. Barrels down, throws it in. Another great run from Rob White on his lead. Hits all the outer clips. But Nick Coulson putting on a great chase so far. But will it be enough? Judges not giving any real major advantage to either driver after that first run. So let's see what happens now with Nick leading. Throws it in. Great entry from the X-Force Achilles via Utes. Rob White cuts off the edge of the track there. A bit of a mistake from Rob White and a couple of little corrections on the chase there. Will that off-track excursion, will that be enough? He cut the corner, which let him get closer proximity. However, judges have said if they cut the corner, they will be penalised. You can see on the Achilles radial replay here, not a bad chase from Coulson, but not enough. But you can see Rob White, 2 wheels off track, and that mistake is enough to hand the win to Nick Coulson.
It's good to have a win against Rob. He did well. My diff's on its way out, so we'll see how we go for the rest of the day.
Agus now going up against Ben Purtell, both 180SXs. However, Agus still sticking with the SR24 cylinder. He loves it. It's a fresh engine for this round. Seems to be working so far. Agus has been very aggressive on his chase runs. Let's see what happens this time. Purtell, a very high-speed big entry. Agus doing everything he can to keep up. A good chase so far. Good line from both drivers. Agus very aggressive coming to this last corner to get good proximity. And that is what the judges want to see, ladies and gentlemen. Agus pushing right up on the door of Ben Purtell. That's going to give him a slight advantage coming into this run. Can Ben Purtell outdo Agus's chase this time? Agus throws it in full speed. Purtell's right there so far. Goes a little bit shallow on the line on that first outer clipping zone. Transitions back and not able to get up on the door of Agus as much to begin with. Getting closer towards the end of the run. But will it be enough? Have a look at the replay here. You can see that Ben Purtell went off track ever so slightly and had a very shallow line coming into that corner. But have a look on the other run, you can see that Agus was able to get right up on the door of Ben Purtell, pushing very hard, very aggressive on his chase. And it's that chase run from Agus that is going to earn him the win and go through to the top 4.
Yeah, top 4, here we come. Yeah, pretty stoked. That was a good run against Ben. It was door to door, and bring on top 4.
The other side of the battle tree now, Anthony Cece up against Josh Botcher. Anthony Cece, a local driver, however, our revised track layout at ADGP means no real home track advantage. Josh Botcher as the higher qualifier leads, full throttle the whole way, throws it in, big speed in that tyre right GT Radial 180SX. A big straighten there though from Anthony Cece into that first High-Tech Oils outer clipping zone. He's able to get better proximity on the last part of the track, but that big straighten will have him heavily penalised, which means the advantage is going to go to Josh Botcher. Let's see what happens on the second run now. Anthony Cece will lead. He needs to give it everything he's got and hope for a mistake from Botcher. So far, no mistakes from Botcher. He goes a little bit shallow on the line there, but he's keeping it clean. Transitions into that last corner, and he's able to keep a nice, tidy run behind Anthony Cece, which will hand him the win. Go to the Achilles radial replay now. You can just see very messy entry and a straighten there from Anthony Cece, and that is all it takes, ladies and gentlemen, to get the lose.
Yeah, it feels great, mate. It was a tough battle with Cece, and I was really close. So glad I got the win. I'm just trying to drive as tight as I can and and really use these SX2s as best as we can. There's a lot of Achilles drivers out there, so we're out there to take them all down. Just got to deal with the flies too.
Michael Rosenblatt up against Michael Prosnick. Battle of the V8s now. These guys had to go it 2 more times. Check out the Achilles radial replay. You can see these guys, not only did they do the same good things, they made the same mistakes on each run. The judges couldn't split them the first time around. They went for 1 more time and the judges still couldn't split them. So now let's go into their second rerun. Michael Prosnick leads as the higher qualifier. Rosenblatt takes chase. Both V8 powered Nissans. Prosnick throws it in, another great entry. Rosenblatt is right there, right up onto the back of Michael. But a big straighten there from Rosenblatt as they transition to that last corner, and another correction as he tries to take chase and can't keep up on this one. Those 2 mistakes are going to give an advantage to Michael Prosnick now. Can Rosenblatt pull something out of the hat to try and take back a win on this run? A very big high-speed entry from Rosenblatt, given everything he's got, but Michael Prosnick is able to answer the call, nearly overcooks it before that transition, but able to gather himself back up and keeps it clean for the rest of the run. Let's go to the Achilles radial replay, and you can see here a bit messy on the entry, and a big correction, and a big straighten there from Rosenblatt.
He is one quick dude. He, I guess LS, same tyres. It wasn't easy, I'll tell you.
Stick around because after the break we head into the top 4 and the finals to see who are the winners at round 1 of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix at Mallala Motorsport Park.
Welcome back to round 1 of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix.
Hey guys, my name's Jabbit from Sydney, driving the New Line Oils S15.
Oh hey guys, I'm Scott Shemry from the Three Fingers Knee Blaze unit, driver of the New Line 180SX.
I've mixed it up a bit, put a Toyota engine, the 2J, which is from a Toyota Supra. Found it a lot more reliable platform. We're getting good power out of it now, up towards 600 horsepower, and it's loving every beat of it.
A Treno. He's got a SR20, all the bits, all the mods, PPG, dot box, you name it, it's got it. He's a hard man, but it's like a love-hate relationship, virtually.
Blaze Unit is a Sydney-based drift team. We've been driving together for about 5 years now. I met Shemry at the track.
Actually just locked eyes and that was about the end of it.
We just put down good laps together and we get along, so it was a match made in heaven.
It's double everything. Double the excitement, double the smoke, double the door. Virtually like a little family, you go away together. It's not just you by yourself with a couple of pits.
We're literally taking the car, pretty much a whole workshop across the country. So if you share that load amongst 2 people, you're pretty much halving the tools, all the stuff you're going to need. It's going to make it a lot easier. I guess Shemry's going to tell you he's the good-looking one. I probably agree with him. The party, who's the party one? Probably Keith. This is my car, Keith. He likes to get down.
Everyone loves to party, but we also work very hard and are serious to get our cars to every event. So
drifting as a sport is so hard on the cars. We're pretty much pushing them to the limits in ways that the manufacturers never intended.
Look what you're doing, you're trying to get the most grip out of the car, but at the same time you're trying to drive fast and spin the wheels, trying to push the most out of the motor. I know in this car we usually run big boosters, 10 on this weekend, but running a 30-pound boost for a motor on a hot day, killing it, changing gears, smashing clutches, 9 grand dumps.
To get ready for the next round, that's in WA. We've got a bit to do with the car. It's back on the trailer running, so that just proves we've got a good team. The car's strong now.
Before we head to the next round, which is in WA, probably go over the car, going to fix up the steering. Mechanically the car's fine, so I'll just do all the damage as well, from your windscreen, your bonnet, go from there.
Top 4 time now. Nick Coulson said that his diff was just about to let go after the last run. Will it hold out for the rest of the event? Let's find out. Nick Coulson leads, takes off on the run-up. But what's this? Nick Coulson, the diff has let go. You can see some shrapnel of metal flying across the track. That is not a good thing. Nick Coulson is out. The diff has let go on the run-up. He is out, and Agus, a guaranteed spot in the finals.
Yes, unfortunately, my diff let go on the run-up into first corner. It's a bit unfortunate. You don't want to lose that way, but all the guys have been driving really well, and we'll just hope for better next round.
Let's get our other battle in the top 4 underway now. Josh Botcher and Michael Prosnick. Prosnick will lead as the higher qualifier. Both of these guys very, very tough to beat this round. Prosnick, full throttle, massive entry, big speed, throws it in. Botcher giving it everything he can to keep up, but a big correction there and quite shallow coming through that high-tech oils outer clip. And Botcher simply can't keep up on that part of the course. He's trying to gain some ground here, but just can't do it. That means Michael Prosnick will have the advantage going into the second run. Let's see what happens this time. What can Botcher do on his lead run? He's giving it everything he's got, but Prosnick is right there on the entry. Great chase so far from the Victorian. Transition now into that last outer clip. Botcher, nothing he can do as Prosnick is right there up on the inside of him. And that will be a very convincing win for Michael Prosnick. Let's go to the Achilles radial replay now in car with Josh Botcher. You can see a little bit messy through there. Past the high-tech oils outer clipping zone. He's giving it everything he can, but he simply just cannot keep up with that Supreme Caravans S13, and that is why Prosnick had a big advantage after the first run. And you can see now when they switched it around, Prosnick was able to get nice and close, give the judges exactly what they want to see, and that gave a convincing win over to Michael Prosnick, who will go through to the finals to face off against Agus. Well, with Nick Coulson out due to mechanical gremlins, we thought we'd catch up with one of the rising stars of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix, Nick Coulson, in the X-Force Performance Exhaust Achilles Radial Holden VE Ute.
Hi, I'm Nick Coulson, aka the Drift Kid, and I drive the X-Force Performance and Achilles Radial VE Drift Ute. Last year there were 4 rounds and I competed in 3 of the rounds. I finished in 4th place last year. We're definitely ready for the job this year. We're definitely determined. My whole team's determined to take the win this year. We're readier than ever. Our newest sponsor is X-Force Performance Exhaust. We're really excited to have them on board. X-Force is obviously a performance exhaust specialist. We've got the X-Force full header system and 3-inch system throughout the whole car. It sounds amazing. We've gained a little bit of horsepower out of it, and it's done its job. We started our relationship with Achilles about last year sometime here at Mallala Motorsport Park. We just love the tyre. We tried it and we thought we've got to use this from now on. The 123s, they're just insanely grippy. We've never had a tyre to beat it. In my opinion, I think the Achilles tyre is definitely the #1 tyre to use, especially in ADGP. It's just at the top of the field. Nearly all the drivers have the 123S. I think actually last year and this year we've definitely proven that the Holden is a competitive drift car, and we've put it to anyone who's at top level drifting this year.
Finals time now. First up, it's the battle for third place. It was meant to be Nick Coulson up against Josh Botcher, but after that broken diff, Coulson not able to complete the run. But in a sign of good sportsmanship, Josh Botcher is taking Nick Coulson for a passenger run. So he technically did compete in the battle for third place, just not in his own car and not able to take the win in any way. So Josh Botcher, a nice run for the crowd. He will come home in third place. It's not the way you like to win it, but hey, a podium's a podium. Let's get into our final battle now. Michael Prosnik up against Andreas Paraskevas, both from Victoria. These guys are good friends off the track, but they won't hold anything back on track. Prosnik will lead on the first run. Agus has been the master of the chase. Prosnik full throttle, throws it in. Agus fully committed. Looks like a little bit of contact there, but it doesn't upset Prosnik too much. It pushes him a little wide, but he won't be penalised for that by the judges. But Agus super aggressive all over the back of Michael Prosnik on that chase run. Let's go to the Achilles radial replay here. Bang! You can see that Agus gives him a hit, but judges don't penalise unless the hit causes the driver to spin or go off track. He went a little bit wide there after that hit Prosnik, but the judges didn't mark him down for it. But you can see just how aggressive Agus is there. Looks like Prosnik was about to straighten up a little, and Agus gave him a little nudge. But that contact caused a little bit of damage to the front of Agus's car, so he had to go into the pits, calling a 5-minute timeout to get the car safe for the second run. Agus has the advantage on the second battle after that great chase run. Can Prosnik give the fight back to him though? Agus, full throttle, throws it in. Prosnik, good chase so far, not as aggressive as Agus. He needs to get closer than this. He wants to take back the advantage. He was good on the transition with that last outer clip, but Agus is starting to walk away now. A couple of little corrections there from Prosnik, and that may just be enough. Let's go to another Achilles radial replay, and you can see there in slow motion a big straighten from Michael Prosnik there. He didn't completely lose drift, but it was a big correction. You can see it there again, and that's enough to hand the win over to Agus here in the finals. He is back on the podium again. It's been a little while since he's been there in ADGP, but very, very aggressive driving from the Victorian is what has done it.
Botcher in the GT lane with power up 180 SF. The winner of round 1 of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix is Agus. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, Andreas Paraskevas. The winning check from Simon from Just Car Insurance, the trophy from the winner. Please continue that round of applause and go to second place, Michael Prosnik. Yeah! Woo!
Yeah, mate, got third place today. Super happy. Wanted to obviously go to the top spot, but you know we did the best we could. We had made a little mistake in the top 4 battle, but we're super happy with the really great result first round. This car's actually it's the first time out since we've done a lot of changes, made a lot of changes to the car, and it's super capable. I know we've got the speed and the power and the right sort of tyres as well. The GT radial tyres have been really good today, so yeah, ready to step it up next time.
It was good. Happy with the second. Honestly, didn't think we'd get this far. From what happened last year, we just had nothing but issues. This round last year, we dropped the gearbox, the clutch on the first 4 laps. It was pretty devastating, so now we've got this thing's dialed in and we're starting to get some results, which is good. The next round's at Barbagallo, WA, looking forward to it. Good track, we've done some changes since the last time we were there and the car's performing better, so I think we'll have a chance.
Today we finished first up in Mallala. We battled Prix in the finals. It was an epic run, and I'm stoked. The car got a bit battered up all day. We rubbed panels with a few blokes. We'll send it back to the garage, we'll give it some love, new paint, new stickers. But other than that, she's pretty good. I was pretty happy. It's a fresh motor. The team worked endless hours around the clock. We got bugger all sleep. We ran a bit late, but we got here and we did the job.
Here is the top 10 for round 1. Rob White takes out 5th, which is still a good place to be for another championship campaign. Ben Patel in 6th, Michael Rosenblatt in 7th, Anthony CC in 8th. Dale Campaign goes home in 9th and James Abbott rounds out the top 10. You can get more results and information from our website, AustralianDriftingGP.com, and get tickets to the rest of the season. Round 2, Barbagallo Raceway in Western Australia, December 7th and 8th. Daigo Sato from Japan is the guest judge. Western Australians, be there.